Welcome back, guys, to Let's Be Real. I have my sisters, Amy and Tammy, back again for another episode. Love having you guys here. Does this bring back memories of our podcast?
Yeah. Except
Kind of.
I feel like when we had our podcast, we just spoke over each other the entire time.
Yeah, we've grown up since then. We let each other talk.
Yeah.
I'm making a conscious effort not to do it.
Is that why you
Same.
look like you're thinking?
Probably.
You're waiting. That's so nice. Well, today's episode is a little bit different to what we usually chit chat about. I feel like we love a laugh and a giggle, but I wanted to go deep with you guys and talk about heartbreak, grieving, and loss. Because I feel like as a mum, you go through a lot of things and you have to be there and show up for your kids. So let's get straight into it. When you guys look back on the hardest moments of being a mum, whether it was grief, heartbreak, or just a really hard moment, what was that moment for you? For me, it was losing my son, Jamal. I literally told myself I was not going to cry. I'm like, I've said this so many times.
It's going to make me cry.
I've literally tried to talk about this so I can say it, not cry, which I really want to do on this podcast because sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'm going to get through this and I've spoken about it, so without crying. So I will get through this, guys. Don't worry. So for me, the hardest thing was losing my son, Jamal, which you both know and were there with me throughout it all. The situation changed me forever. And it's a grief that I'll carry forever, every single day. And it's shaped me now into the mother I am with my kids. I think this situation has made me love more as a mum, hold my kids more, appreciate them more, be more grateful, know that 1 minute something's there and the next it's gone and it's out of your control. So for me, it has changed the way I look at life and the way I parent. For you, Tammy, I know something you've been through is divorce and still raising 3 beautiful babies. I think as mums, it gives you that purpose and that reason to get up and to push yourself on. Like there's been days when I went through what I went through and I locked myself in the room and I couldn't get out of bed and I cried and cried. But like my little ones being like, Mom, why are you crying? Or Mom, why are you sad? It really pushes you to get up and be a parent.
Yeah, honestly, like you're literally, I don't want to start crying now either. Like watching you like have to go through that, like I don't think I could ever, like, yeah, I don't know, it's such a like difficult thing to speak about. But yeah, it was so just like the worst thing watching you go through that was literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And you're so strong and I can't even believe how strong you are. Like it's incredible.
I think when you are a mum, you kind of, even though you feel strong, you kind of just take that one step forward and you kind of have no choice. Like you
Yeah.
look at your little ones and they depend on you, to eat, bath, everything, like especially little. Like Jebra was only a couple of years old. So I had to really step up. And whether that was sitting on the floor and playing games with them on the floor, whatever that was, just one step forward every day.
I really admire how you handled your grief because you just let yourself feel it. And I watched you do that and nobody put any pressure on you. You know, I'm a crier, so. But I think you asked us what are some things that have impacted us. And I think when something like that happens in your family as an older sister. I'm gonna cry. As an older sister, there's like a before and an after. And I remember the phone call. And I was a new mum. I just had my daughter. So my hormones were very fresh. And hearing you were at the hospital, and I turned up there, and I just couldn't picture it. And I know you couldn't either. And I remember you saying to me, "You're so lucky because I had my baby." And I remember being scared that you wouldn't want to hold Aurora because of what you went through. But the next time you saw her, you just grabbed her and hugged her.
Yeah. Probably didn't let go of her, right? Grabbed her, and you know how life is so precious.
Yeah.
It's really thinking, because we haven't spoken about it in so long, right? Like even on our podcast, they asked us to speak about it, and I said, I just can't. Like I just can't talk about it. But I think giving myself that time to really grieve and really just feel the feelings and just be in it was really therapeutic for me. Like I remember I was painting every day, and I became like a DIY queen, like making things and arts and crafts, and just being in it really helped me. But looking back, it's like, did that really happen to me? Did that really happen? Like I have only heard those stories online, and you just like feel so much pain for that person. And then that actually happened to me at 29 weeks pregnant, which is, a couple months off from having a newborn. So I think being a mum gave me that purpose to get up and to really go on with my day. And having Giselle, my rainbow baby, like just changed everything for me. It changed how I look at life. It changed how I parent. It changed everything. Like I don't sweat the small stuff. I don't stress over the small things. Like going through losing a child is just puts everything in perspective. Really does. Like the small issues, you're just like, oh, that's nothing, I'll just handle that. I'll just, get to it. It really does put everything in perspective.
I think that's why I said like there's a before and there's an after, because it really does. It changes you because it makes you realize how in 1 second everything can change. And like I said, I remember getting the phone call from mum, and she just said, your sister needs you at the hospital now. And my heart
Yeah, I don't think
stopped.
I've ever like driven that fast. And then it's just like.
And when I went to see you, I just remember Tony, who was all of our midwife, the look on her face, I just knew.
So mum hadn't told you what happened?
Mum called me and just
Mum
said,
was hysterical.
you need to
when
get
she
to the
called me.
hospital and pray for your sister's baby.
Yeah, she just kept
That's
saying,
all she said to me.
Pray for your sister.
So I didn't know 100%, but I knew something was wrong, and I need to get to you like now.
It's such a blur looking back. Like I just remember having you guys both there throughout all of it.
You were in survival mode, and I remember you telling us like you were like, go home, like I don't need you here, and we were just like, no.
I just remember wanting to be put to sleep. I was like, just put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember you saying that.
Honestly, like watching you have to like go through like a full labor and delivery. Like,
yeah.
Just as a mom, like I just like.
And I think I was like so, like you were so strong because I had just done labor myself, and I thought I couldn't fathom going through that and not taking your baby home.
It's brought up a lot of emotions, guys.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a crier.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I told myself I was not going to cry. I'm like, I've spoken about this like since it happened to you guys, like offline, And I'm like, so I think I'm ready. Like, I think as mums, you go through so much, and you need to be there for your family at the end of the day. And like, I had to be a mummy, but it wasn't a duty, or it wasn't something negative to me to be there for my kids when it happened. I wanted to. I wanted them next to me. I wanted to hold them. I wanted to look after them. I wanted to nurture them. I wanted to like just grab them and not let go. It was like this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of just like keeping them close to me because they were there. So for me, they really helped me get through some of like the grief. It never goes away, but you just learn how to live with it, and they really helped me with that. Do you think with your own experiences that they broke you, or that they made you a stronger person?
I feel like, because obviously like for me, I'm going through divorce and things like that, but I just feel like anything like after what we just spoke about, it doesn't even seem like anything to me after speaking about that. I think as a mum, like your kids are everything to you. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like being a mum helps me get through everything. Like you just said, like they've helped me so much with, you know, getting through this divorce. I've been sort of throwing myself into them and, you know, spending so much time with them, going to the beach a lot and just like, you know, just trying to appreciate every day. And yeah, I feel like it definitely, I feel like it like breaks you, but then rebuilds you as well.
Yeah. Those are the words that I was just thinking. Like with my situation, it literally broke me all the way down. Like, it was the hardest situation, but I've also learned so much, and I think I've grown so much. Like going through something so traumatic does rebuild you. And I feel like it is perspective as well, looking at the situation and growing from these situations. Tammy, divorce is its own kind of grief, and you've been through heartbreak so publicly while raising 3 kids. How has that experience changed you and how you see yourself as a woman?
I feel like, yeah, dealing with like my divorce and everything so publicly is really difficult because, I don't know. It's just like there's so many different emotions. Like it's humiliating, it's heartbreaking. It's just yeah, you guys have seen firsthand like what I've sort of been going through with it. Like I honestly haven't coped. Like in the beginning, I like really was not coping well with it, and I feel like it's definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things, especially like future relationships. But it's frustrating because obviously like I want to eventually find someone, and I'm going to be in the public still. Like even if I just like go on a date, it's everywhere. And it's like, it's really frustrating to deal with that. But I just need to like, you know, not care what people think because yeah, at the end of the day, like every experience is a learning experience, and I'm just trying to, you know, learn and grow from this experience.
And like, you're not the first person to have gone through a breakup or gone through a divorce. So
Yeah.
like, you're just a regular person.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel like people hold me to a higher standard
Yeah.
than like regular people. And I'm like, I swear other people like fall in love with the wrong person, or, you know, like I'm not the first one
Some of
to
the names
do
you've
that.
been called online and the bullying, I think, went to next level this time around, though. Like you said to me, it was worse than ever. And I think that piling on top of the heartbreak and feeling like a failure
Yeah,
in
you're
yourself,
already going
or
through a
like that
heartbreak.
something
I
didn't
want to
work
start
out.
crying more. I'm just like such a crier these days.
I am
Crybaby.
too.
Knowing you though, you're such a romantic, and that's part of what I love about you. And then it's part of what scares me about you, because you just give your heart away so easily and you fall in love and you want to believe in this fairy tale.
I feel like I genuinely like have learnt though now that I can't be so, like naive when it comes to just like falling in love.
And that's something that you had to learn on your own, as much as
Yeah.
we could try and give you advice. And it hurts me so
It's just
much
a
to
shame
see.
that I had to go through like a whole wedding to learn that lesson.
Yeah,
Like it's
and-
such a
And publicly,
Yeah.
like
at
that's
the
really
time,
hard.
obviously, I didn't think I was going to be getting a divorce.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You thought it was forever. So you're grieving future that you saw as well.
Yeah, like, but hindsight's 2020. Like, it's so crazy to me now. Like, looking back, I see so many things that I didn't like notice at the time that people around me were telling me, and I just feel like
Is that why they say like love is blinding?
I was definitely blind at the time. I think I just wanted like, the fairy tales. But
And
I'm
I
not even
think-
sad right
and
now.
I
I don't want to
think-
cry.
And I think also when you knew it was over, but it's like, do you want to put that out for everyone? You
Yeah,
know what I
like,
mean? Like you knew, but it's like, do I really like you're going through a heartbreak. You're already going through the worst time. Now, do I have to put it online and hear everyone's opinion?
I definitely had a hard time sort of accepting it as well when I knew it's what needed to happen, and I was like, there's like, I can never, be happy with this person. But then sort of just having to, tell everyone else that. I guess I didn't like have to, but with me being so public, like there's no way I could have like hidden that. I just wanted to be like open and honest about it as much as that I could. And that honestly really helped me once I like told everyone I'm
Let it out.
getting a
Gave your
divorce and
truth.
everything. It just felt like a weight off my shoulders, as in like I could just, now I could move on from that.
I remember when you actually announced that, and I saw that in you too. It was like lighter.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it
Almost.
created that extra layer of pressure, and having that, you knowing it yourself and not, telling everyone. And it's sad that you feel the need that you have to, but at the same time, it is such a big part of your, life that people, I think the pressure was coming from people questioning, like, where's the ring? Where's this?
Yeah.
It was becoming too much.
Yeah, definitely. And I think part of it as well is I just wasn't letting go.
Well, you obviously wanted it to work. Like even when there was situation after situation, and I'm not sure about you, Amy, but I was like, enough is enough. Like you are just trying so hard to make it work that you are just letting everything, all
Letting
these
too much go.
situations, where it's not okay.
And looking back now, I'm like, it's crazy to me. But like I was so just swept up in it that I was willing to overlook so many things. And I was so like, yeah. And then I genuinely feel different in like my view on like love and dating and everything now. Like I still am like a hopeless romantic. I still want the fairy tale. I still want to find like my soulmate. But I just feel like I want to like, instead of, diving headfirst into like a serious relationship with like the first person I think is like amazing, or like the first person I like that, I start dating, I need to just, just get to know like
Take your
different
time.
people and like, yeah, like actually think about what I like need in a relationship and not overlook things that will, I think it's so easy in the beginning of a relationship to sort of like look at things through rose-colored glasses. But the thing is like every like red flag in like the beginning is going to be like 10 times worse later on, which I feel like I get that now. So I need to like, just be more cautious and Yeah, but I'm definitely not like trying to get into like a serious relationship right now.
I'm
Just
glad
wanna
to hear.
date.
Do you think when you're going through that heartbreak, like, do you think it affects your parenting and like showing up for your
Yeah,
kids?
1000%. I feel like like I want to start crying and I just stop crying. I feel like it's so hard to show up as a mum sometimes when you're going through something.
Your
And
own
when
thing.
when it was like at its like worst, I couldn't even I
You
couldn't
weren't really
function.
functioning, yeah.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
couldn't function normally. Like I didn't like I was going to therapy and I couldn't even get from my car to like the front door without like being in hysterics. Like I couldn't do anything in my like day-to-day life.
I remember you calling me and you had a breakdown in the supermarket. Someone
Yeah.
came up behind you and I think they just wanted a photo.
They just said
like someone
hi
friendly.
and I freaked out and I ran to my car and I started like hyperventilating. I called you. And like that's what I mean. I was so like anxious all the time. I couldn't function and I definitely felt like I wasn't showing up as a mom at all. I would go in the shower and just lie on the shower floor and cry and cry and cry because I didn't want my kids to like come into my room and see me crying.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to, like hide it from them. But I'm much better now, thank goodness.
I think that's why family is so important
Yeah.
too. Like having mum,
Yeah.
to be there, or us.
And like you guys and my kids, like they've been so healing for me. Even
Yeah.
like like even though at times that I didn't feel like I was showing up for them, they were showing up for
you.
me.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I think when you become a mum, it doesn't make you a stronger person. It doesn't make you a wiser person. Nothing switches. Like you learn and you're a normal human and you're growing at the same time. So
Yeah.
you can't just switch off and be like, okay, school drop off, homework, robot. Like you're a regular person. We're regular people and you go through those emotions. And sometimes you just have to sit with it,
Yeah.
like, and grieve or go through that heartbreak. And
I had like conversations with them because I asked my therapist about this. I was like, how do I like deal with this with my kids? And, and she was like, just be honest with them. She was like,
was
kids
that
are
their
smart, they're
advice?
resilient. Yeah. And so I just had conversations with them about it. And like at times where I knew they could tell I was like not okay.
Yeah.
I just was like, mommy's going through like this and this, but everything's going to be fine. And I just spoke to them about it and they like it's difficult, but like kids are really resilient and they,
And even if you didn't tell them, I'm sure they would have known. They're so smart children, even the younger ones that you think they're not going to understand.
Aurora is so smart.
They pick up things, they overhear things, and they do understand. So I think that's really good advice that they gave you, to be honest and speak to your kids, like having that honest relationship with them as well.
And kids are so healing. Like
they
you've
really
both
are.
said that in your own grief journeys. Like Emilee, you said showing up for your kids during that time was something that you like needed and you just wanted to hold them. And I find that too with anything that I'm going through. If I'm super down, it's almost, even if they're asleep in bed at night, I'll climb into bed with them and just hold them.
They're
like a calming medicine, right?
They are.
Yeah, with me, all my in-laws and family, we've got such a big, and you guys were always like, let me take the kids or let me do this. I'm like, I want them beside me.
Yeah.
I want them next to me. I didn't speak about the situation with mine because they were young, except for Aaliyah. Aaliyah was there. Remember, she let the balloon off at the cemetery. She always talks about that. I'm like, that's going to be in her mind forever, that moment. But speaking to her, she understood it.
Yeah.
And now she speaks about it with me all the time. When I say 5 kids, she's like, Mum, 6, Jamal. Like she reminds me all the time, and she asks to go to the cemetery and like they'll bring little teddies. We went there yesterday actually, and it was still there. These little minions that Jabril left. I know, like these little plastic minions and stuff. So the kids will go there and like we talk about it, because I feel like if you close off, like these situations happen like in different circumstances for everyone, but if you close it off, you're almost not teaching them and being real about life, the ups and downs in life. Amy, you've always been the calm and steady one, but that doesn't mean life hasn't been easy. What's something you've been through that maybe people wouldn't have guessed?
Like, as an older sister, I'm so protective of you guys. And I think I've been that way my whole life. So when you guys go through these things, like what you went through, which was such a big thing, and Tammy, your heartbreak and all of that, I feel like I feel it too. Like I go through it too, and not on the same level, but it affects me so much that I just always want to step in and like protect you guys. Like I mentioned after your breakup, Tammy, and I moved in with you, or like I would make sure like at Christmas that everyone rallies around you and we all put your tree up together, because I want
You are really
you to
thoughtful.
not be alone as a single mum putting your tree up, because I think about those things with you guys and the strength that I've seen in you guys.
I feel like you sort of just like take it on like too much sometimes though. Like I feel like it definitely like
I
affects you,
definitely
which I feel
do.
like
I think
sad
because I've
about.
always been so protective of you guys ever since we were little. And at one point, I did actually go to therapy about it, because I would take on so much. I'm such an empath that when you guys were going through something, it was almost like I couldn't function, because it would consume my thoughts. How can I help you? How can I step in? And I think to a certain degree, that's where sometimes I overstepped in like maybe your past relationships, when I didn't see things that I thought were right, and I would get involved, and then
Yeah.
it would cause issues between us. And, I just couldn't let you guys figure it out on your own sometimes. And so I think for me, a lot of your grievances and family grievances, I took on myself to a point that was almost detrimental to some of our relationships. So I've put boundaries in place now as well. I'll still always be there, and I'll do the
So what, you're
things
not going
I
to be there
can.
for us anymore, Amy?
No, I'll always be there, but I won't like overstep. It's like, especially with Tammy's last relationship, she had to learn her own lessons.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I really did.
And I took a step
Unfortunately,
back.
a big expensive mistake. but at least I've like learned now.
Yeah.
I have. Don't worry.
But maybe like I don't have anything that's quite big that's happened to me, because from those sorts of things, I don't sweat the small stuff as much
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I look at what really matters. Like I said, I'm really big on morning gratitude, because I just feel like when you're feeling gratitude, it's almost impossible to feel
I love that.
like, the other emotions. You just feel like I'm grateful, and it like consumes me. And so I really do practice that first thing when I wake up. I will lay in
Gratitude.
bed, open my eyes, and think of the things I'm grateful for, because like we've mentioned, like everything can change in a second.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. There's so much pressure on women to be strong and have it all together. But what do you guys think, like, what does strong actually mean to you guys? Because for me, it's definitely changed since becoming a mum. Like, being strong is just being there with my kids and present. Like, it doesn't mean I have to go above and beyond and be, waking up and, being the best example. It's just being present with them. It's not like what I probably would have thought some time ago.
Being strong to me is being resilient and asking for help. I think that's one of the bravest things you can do.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I think watching you and the way you were grieving after everything that happened to you, that was really strong to me, because you let yourself feel it. You didn't like shut it in a box. You did what you needed to do. You cried when you wanted to cry, but you also laughed when you wanted to laugh, and you didn't, guilt yourself for that. And I think it's not linear. And I think watching you after, I remember thinking that's real strength.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
you guys are so nice. Well, you guys were so amazing. Like, I remember just like coming downstairs and like you just being downstairs and like not even talking or nothing, but just being there
Yeah.
was like amazing. Like, just having you in the house and like maybe we just sit next to each other and not even talk, but like you were there and just around, like having family around. And we went and we did like a Byron trip where like you rented a house and like we just spent time together and just like singing songs and like just being together. So I think like you guys obviously helped me through so much and like did not leave me at all to the point where I'm like, okay, can you guys like go home now? Like
Yeah, you're
you're
trying to
in my
get rid of
bed.
us.
Like, okay, go home now. But like you guys were there. And I think that's so important. If you know someone who's going through something, like just showing up. Like if you ask someone, should I come over? Like they're not even looking at their text. They're not even replying. Their mind is elsewhere. Just show up. Just drop in. Just send some flowers. Just a little note. Anything. It just makes you feel good. Like people are there. People, I'm surrounded by love. So I think that's something that I've learned to, like in any situations with friends and family when they go through heartbreak or loss or whatever it is, like I just go. I don't even like, are you going to be home? Like I just go.
And like you said, you don't have to be in the same room. I mean, you told us you told us to leave you alone and we showed up. But even just to be like outside the bedroom or like, in the kitchen, just there for you, like it was important.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like real strength is like holding it all in, or do you think it's healthy to let it out?
I feel like it's definitely healthy to feel whatever you're feeling, because I feel like it sort of brings me back to when I was like trying to not tell anyone about like my divorce and everything. So I was sort of like trying to like shove
Hold it
down
in.
so many different emotions, and I feel like that is why I got to that like breaking point with my like anxiety and I couldn't function. I feel like that's was so unhealthy, and that's sort of got me to that. And I feel like once I, just let it all out and I started feeling it, that's when I started actually healing and feeling better and better every day. So I feel like it's so important to just, feel what you're feeling and ride the waves and like go through the emotions.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree. That's why I think I admire what you did. And, the body holds trauma and it can show up in the body, like with Tammy with the panic attacks at the supermarket. And I know after what you went through, you did havening. And
that really helped me. Yeah, the body does hold trauma. So it's almost like letting it out.
So
Like
that it doesn't
releases
store
something in your body. And obviously it can be really difficult to let it out too, like to even talk to a therapist or a family member or a friend or whoever it is. It can be really difficult. Like I know in my situation, I know lots of situations where the couples have broken up afterwards. Like it can be really hard, too hard.
Yeah.
On the marriage or the relationship. But with me and Emilee brought us so close together. Like he always says, like, we've been through life and death together. We've been through like, what more? How much closer? Like we've been through everything. And the way he was just there for me, like it just brought us in. So I think like if I closed off and didn't speak and just shut him out, it could have gone like a completely different direction. So I agree, like completely letting it out and not keeping it all in, which like I do with you guys as well. If you guys could sit down with your younger self before the losses, before motherhood, before the pain and the lessons, what would you tell her about love and who you are becoming today?
What would I tell my younger self about love?
Yeah.
Don't do it. I'm kidding. No, that was a joke. I would just say, like, girl, I know you love so hard and you have so much love to give, but just give that love to yourself first.
Oh, I love that, Tammy. You've just become this
such a
little wise.
crybaby.
You've become this little wise girl.
I mean, go
over
through
the
enough
last
and
6
you
months.
learn a few things.
You could write another book, I can see coming after all this wisdom. Teaching me.
I'm definitely not the wisest, but I am learning.
I would say to my younger self that God doesn't burden you with things that you can't handle. Like you'll get through it. And it's kind of like thinking of the world, like what you said, and like you're this little speck and the whole world moving. And just taking it step by step, because if you look at the whole picture, it can be overwhelming, but really just taking it back and just thinking about the next day, even just the next day, And you'll look back and, I look back and go, wow, did I really go through that? How did I overcome that? And it's just that day by day. So I would say you'll get through it.
I would tell my younger self something that I do now that I wish I knew sooner is like, don't care what other people think about you.
Mm-hmm.
Just do what you want to do. Follow your heart, because the people who love
Amen,
you
girl.
really
Amen.
know you. And I think I wish I followed that advice sooner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I follow it now, but when I was
Yeah.
younger, I wish I didn't care what people thought about me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are definitely my safe space, like through everything that I go through. And I hope we're your safe space, Tammy, too. And Amy, if you ever need us, we're here too. So thank you for coming on the podcast and being so real and vulnerable. And I really hope the listeners really get to know us a little bit more from this and know that we're just mums going through similar situations to everyone else, feeling all the feels like everyone else and learning as we go too. So I hope everyone enjoyed this episode and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.